Well, hello, I'm Alex, and today we're gonna do some doodling. Use this to get back to that sketchbook of yours, or simply as a warm-up. In this series, I'll share with you doodling ideas based on observation. We'll do some continuous line drawing for those, but also based on repetition. We'll have fun with pattern play, and based on imagination, which is when we'll doodle with ink blots. My dream for you is that your creative play spills over into all parts of your life. And that's why I'm making these videos, so that you can take a tiny play break with me. This is your creativity timeout, baby. Just jump in and mess around with your art supplies and work alongside me. No worries, I'm keeping this. No fuss fabulous, easy peasy. Go ahead, check it out. Hello. Welcome back to a creativity timeout. Today we're working on a sketchbook page if you want, or maybe just a regular sheet of paper, but we're going to do full color funny faces. So if you've seen any of my previous sketchbook doodling videos, I do a lot of continuous line drawing, and today is no different. We're going to make a funny face with a continuous line. Just like what I did here for a previous video, I want you to use permanent pens to do the doodling part, and then your favorite coloring tools. I'm using markers to color it in. So we're basically, what we're going for here is a funny face, so lots of sections and shapes that you can color in. We're turning our funny face into a coloring page, and continuous line drawing is perfect for that, because just by the nature of it, you end up with lots of overlapping lines that create shapes that you can color in. So you can use a thin permanent pen or a fat one. I'm going to use a fat one with a chisel tip. And again, you don't need to do this in your sketchbook. You could do it on a sheet of paper. So let's get going here. All you're going for with the continuous line doodling is the basic elements of a face. You want your eyes, your nose, your mouth, and if you can get around and do some hair, that's great. So a continuous line doodle, you can watch what you're drawing. You can watch yourself make the lines, but your goal is not to lift the pen or the marker in this case. So you're going to start wherever you want to start. I'm going to start, I guess I'll start at the neck, and then you're going to go around and you're going to get that forehead in there, and maybe come back around like this, and then you might end up going up to do your mouth. It doesn't matter if you start at the top or if you like, a lot of times it's easy to start at the top and do the eyebrows first. You do end up overlapping your lines a lot, so that's why it's good that you can see what you're doing. And you might want to add some cheeks. Just to get lots of shapes. So I think that's a good start. Use permanent pen so that it doesn't smear when you start coloring in. So I've got lots of overlapping. That was my goal. I've got my basic elements, my eyes, my nose, my mouth. I've got a neck. I've got something that looks like hair. I've even got some cheek circles. You could accentuate the eyes with eyelashes. It's really up to you. I just want to get coloring here because this is so much fun. So, and
If you feel like I'm looking at this and I see this would in theory have to be all one color here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cheat and I'm just gonna connect this back to the nose, and that way I've got sections that are different, if that makes sense. So now I can come in here and make this one color, whereas beforehand I would have had to come all the way down. So now it's basically the rules are to color in each section with a different color. Doesn't matter how big or small it is, but if it's too big, feel free to divide it up a little bit. I'm gonna go through all my markers one by one and start coloring in. So here's a good example where you can see how the hair area got lots of overlapping shapes, which gives me, which is more fun to color in. It just gives me more interesting sections for coloring. So keep that in mind. The weirder your face, the more fun it is to color in. So go crazy, go back and forth a lot with your pen. This is a fun thing to do, especially if you think you can't draw faces. Because it's really not meant to be any particular way, except something fun to color in. If you want to be looking at a magazine page of a face to inspire you to make your face, go ahead. That's a good idea. I'm going to provide links to other videos where I've doodled faces with continuous line, and you might enjoy seeing that. That might get you inspired to try something. So I've got a video where we fold the paper. I've got another one where we add collage. So check those out if you think this is fun. And actually, some of you may have been watching these videos for a while, and you may have some funny faces like this guy or some of these other guys. You may have them in your sketchbook already, and feel free to color those in. Why not? Now that I think about it, there's no reason why you couldn't practice doodling faces with continuous lines. So practice continuous line drawing with a big black pen, and then color it in. So you're turning your practice into a coloring page, which you then can use for collage fodder. Yay! Why not? Why not get clever about repurposing everything? Let's see here. I kind of wish I had a different blue. So I'm going to grab this guy. Yay! That makes me happy. I wanted a darker blue. It felt like that was missing. Could you turn this into a card for someone? Sure you could. Why not? Make someone a card. And then I'll show you a little trick with the black pen in a second. Let's see, I'm just finishing up here. Maybe a little red here. I want a color for here. I'll make that. Should I make that orange or yellow? I actually have a different yellow. It's a little stronger. I thought I had all my colors ready, but as you can see, the more colors you have, the more you can mess around here. So I'm going to grab this other green. Oops, it looks a lot like the green I've already used. Well, it's a little less bluish. Yeah, so that's fine. And I just need to finish this. So in here, so let me add this green here. Add some orange here. And I guess I'll make this light pink. And there's even a little bit here that I could add some blue. Okay, so there's my face, and to finish it off, if you wanted, you could either divide this up by adding some lines, so we could do that, or we could make it black. What shall we do? So I'm going to do a little correcting here. I feel like she's got a very squared off Frankenstein head. So if you make your background black, what you get to do, you get to sort of correct any shapes you might not. See how I did that? And then here I'm going to come down and round that off a little bit. There. It's still a really funny looking head, but I just rounded off those two parts, so I'm happier with that. And then you can come in here and actually, let's see, I'm gonna come like this, like that. So I've just created some space where I can add a few more colors. I'm gonna doodle a line here and add some blue and add some red. And then I can add a color here. Add this green here to be done with this side. And one more color here. What's my last color? What speaks to me? I'm going to make it orange. So there you go. A full color funny face, turning a continuous line doodle of a very simple, funny looking face into a coloring page.
I hope you had fun taking this tiny creative play break with me. Remember, there's always a way to bring more creative play into your life. And as long as you can play, as long as you can try new things, you're never ever stuck, right? I've got lots more ideas for you here on my YouTube channel, so subscribe, stay tuned, and play, play, play. Come back and gift yourself a daily dose of Make Stuff Feel Good energy. Thank you so much for being here. Sparkle on.